Alright, hello guys, how's it going? In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at that winter storm, that very extreme winter storm actually. We're going to be watching it at the very end of its life here as it's reaching the mid-Atlantic states and the northeast states, and also some of the Ohio Valley as well. Now, before I get started with this video though, I would ask that you do subscribe if you do think of other related content, and also make sure to share this video with your friends, family, and social media. I'd also highly recommend that you check out our very exciting Patreon page in the description and in the pinned comments down below, and then also our very awesome channel membership where you can click that join button next to the subscribe button. Check out the tiers that are available. It's very, very awesome. Anyway, for today's comment of the day, I want to know, how long do you think we have to wait until our next major winter storm? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll be picking one of those for tomorrow's video. Now let's get straight into this video, and first things first, we're taking a look at our radar here. As we can see, that storm has moved up into the eastern United States, like I said. We actually still have some pretty good amount of snow going on over there in Texas and Louisiana and Arkansas as well down there. But then also you can see for our Ohio Valley regions as well, there for Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and then also in the mid-Atlantic we have some going on. Actually, the heaviest snow is over there. So let's just go ahead and first off zoom into Texas real quick. All right, and as you can see on this view, we have our region down here in Texas. We see areas like Austin, San Antonio seeing some snowfall. Even that goes up into areas in northern Louisiana as well, and then even southern Arkansas has some pretty decent amount of snow coming down. I bet there is some accumulation going on there. Now let's just go ahead and move up into the Ohio Valley. Now, as you can see, there is actually some pretty good amount of snowfall going on over here as well. Chicago, St. Louis, we see some of that. Indianapolis, Fort Wayne, Toledo, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Columbus seeing some of that. So we're seeing many regions getting some lighter to moderate snowfall within here. Let's just move over into our eastern United States and take a look at the big storm real quick. And now as we take a look at the mid-Atlantic regions, you can see that ice has started to move in for West Virginia, North Carolina over the past couple of hours. From the time I'm making this video at about 6:30 a.m., so you're taking a look at a very, very early view here. Probably many folks aren't even up yet. And I don't blame them. Now, as we can see, there is plenty of snowfall going on, though, as well for West Virginia, Maryland, also southern Pennsylvania getting a good amount of that, New Jersey, Delaware. So let's just go ahead and zoom in, actually, where that heaviest snow is taking place real quickly. And as you can see, for areas like Philadelphia there, areas in Maryland, north of Baltimore especially, where we have those blues showing up, that's actually where we're taking a look at the heaviest snowfall at this point. Even up through areas like New York City, starting to see some of that heavier snowfall move in, even Long Island there, and then surrounding regions in New Jersey. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to move on to our modeled guidance so we can take a look at what's going to come throughout the day today and even in through tomorrow from the rest of this storm. Now, as we're moving on to that modeled guidance, you can see we're taking a look at our European model first off, and this is around 6 a.m. this morning, so this is about the time I'm recording this audio, or the closest I could get at least. We see there is that freezing rain to the south that we saw already for, Tennessee, Kentucky, Virginia, North Carolina, West Virginia, with that snowfall to the north there, with some sleet in between possibly. There, as you can see, we have moderate snowfall going on for West Virginia, up through Maryland, even Pennsylvania as well. Let's just take this a little bit further towards maybe about 1 p.m. and you can see it actually looks a lot closer to what we're looking at now. So tons of freezing rain still. We see that heavier snowfall going on the southern extent of the actual snowfall. So areas like southern Pennsylvania, central and northern New Jersey, Long Island, New York City, probably the bullseye at this point, if not a little bit further to the north. Now, as we take a look at approximately 10 or 11 p.m. there on today, Thursday, from the time I'm making this video, February 18th, you can see it looks like it's closing out. Everything's getting a lot lighter. We still see that flooding to the south, which should not be overlooked because we've had 5 inches of rain since the beginning of February here in Virginia. So the rain with this system is looking to be quite impactful as well. But as we take this a little bit further towards about 6 a.m. tomorrow morning on Friday, you can see that actually it kind of gets a second spark to itself here. We see some snowfall starting up near Binghamton, New York, and then take that northward, I guess, towards the Adirondack Mountains. We do have a band there of kind of moderate snowfall that wants to set up. I mean, there's going to be some snow showers around, and then by the time we're reaching maybe later that evening, you can see we end as some moderate snowfall there for Boston and eastern Massachusetts in general. So yeah, there's going to be some snowfall around throughout the day tomorrow as well, just not quite as widespread. Now what we're going to do is we're actually going to move on and take a look at our NAM 3KM model and get kind of a high resolution opinion on this one. All right, now as you can see, we're taking a look at that NAM 3KM model a little bit more HD here. We see that ice going on for Virginia, North Carolina, West Virginia. Obviously, it's a little bit more accurate as to what we saw in the beginning of the video with the actual radar on screen. You get that with these kind of simulated radar high resolution models. It looks a lot more like what's actually happening. By the time we're reaching this evening, that was this morning, obviously, around the time I'm making this video, but as we reach maybe about, I would say, 2 or 3 p.m. here on Thursday, February 18th, you can see that moderate to heavy snowfall is a little bit further north than what the European model was calling for. We see northeastern Pennsylvania mostly, central Pennsylvania, and even then there for portions of New York, just north of New York City, and then northern New Jersey, but we see sleet going on to the south of there, and that's what we were taking a look at yesterday. In Weather Freaks, especially my Facebook group, we were taking a look at how some websites were perceiving a lot of that sleet as snowfall, and people were getting super hyped about it. But it was going to be sleet and ice, but that website just was not picking up on it. But WeatherBell did a great job of actually differentiating that. And that's just another pro of having WeatherBell. They're really good with the precipitation types and just indicating what they expect it to be according to the models. Some other websites just pick it up all as snow, which is a big problem because that's not how it ends up, going. We see some freezing rain still for North Carolina, Virginia with the sleet and the yellows, like I said. By the time we reach about maybe, I would say 11 p.m. there on Thursday. So tonight, you can see, again, it lightens up. We do see some moderate snowfall there for Massachusetts. The interesting thing here is as we reform, like we saw in the European model later on, tomorrow, maybe tomorrow afternoon or about noontime, about 12 p.m. here, you can see that we actually see that moderate snowfall set up for Virginia, Maryland, DC, even New Jersey up there as well. And it's interesting that this is so much further south than what that European model had to say with the second punch there. But by the time we're reaching later on Friday, you can see this does close out the same way with that more moderate snowfall going on for Rhode Island and eastern Massachusetts, just like that European model said. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to take a look at both our European model and the 3KM NAM model. We're going to take a look at both of their snowfall totals and then both of their freezing rain totals in just a moment. All right, now here we are taking a look at that European model, and it says we're going to have about 6 to 10 inches of snow still to go for Pennsylvania and New York there, more through the central regions there, as you can see. Anywhere in the blues, we're taking a look at about 2 to even 6 inches of snow, so a good amount of snow, probably plowable event. But then the more purple regions, that's where you're taking a look at more of the major snowfall going on, where we're going to be taking a look at some, moderate impacts there at least. Now, as we move on towards that NAM model, you can see it's actually calling for a lot more. We do have some pinks there mixed in with the purples. That's indicating 10 inches plus, which is certainly major at this point for some more of the high elevation regions. So yeah, I do think this will be a major snow event for these regions still to come throughout the day today and throughout the day tomorrow. Once you combine both of those totals, I think we will end up having a plowable snow event here for the Northeast from all of this energy. And certainly, if the snowfall isn't major, the ice is going to be as we move on towards that European model's freezing rain totals. We're taking a look at anywhere from 1/4 to 1/2 inch of freezing rain there for North Carolina and Virginia. It's almost a carbon copy of that freezing rain event we had a week or two ago, which caused major impacts. Almost nobody could travel for a few days, and it might be the same here. Well, it is going to be the same here as we take a look at that freezing rain going on today and tomorrow. And also, this model says, Mississippi and Alabama still has more to come, but I think that's because this model initiated last night. I think that freezing rain is already come and gone. Let's take a look at that NAM 3KM model, and yeah, I was right, because this one updated at about maybe 4 a.m. or so. So this one excludes that Mississippi and Alabama freezing rain because it's already happened by the time this model run came out. But it does have those, in this model, 1/2 inch plus amounts of ice there for Virginia, West Virginia, and North Carolina there. Unfortunately, that is very bad news. 1/2 inch plus is very major freezing rain. And I think we're going to have another crippling freezing rain event here for the states of North Carolina and Virginia. But this time we're actually going to include West Virginia, Maryland, and possibly even Delaware with a bit of that. If you're anywhere in those brighter pinks, the brightest shade there, it's not really going to be too terrible. It's once you get into that 1/4 inch plus amounts, that's when it's really bad. So yeah, I think it's going to be a very extreme freezing rain event. Obviously, the freezing rain that's been going on for weeks now across the United States has been more impactful than snow could ever be, basically. So we're taking a look at these, very major impacts from those. Anyway, my confidence tab, considering this isn't really a forecast, this is more of a nowcast, considering it's already ongoing. My confidence is a 6 out of 6. I'm at the maximum because it's already ongoing, like I said. So this was kind of more of a nowcast video. Now that I have that new style of video that I make with the radar in the beginning, it's easier for me to make a video more about something that's already ongoing rather than something in the future only, if that makes sense. So let me know what you think of this new format. There wasn't really anything I was looking towards after this storm, so I figured, hey, I'll just talk about what's already ongoing and close out this storm for you guys. So let me know your feedback on that. I appreciate it because we have had major changes on this channel, considering like, you know, how, especially the first half of the videos where I'm just completely switching that up. So let me know what you guys feel about that. Whoever's still here, we're 10 minutes into the video. So I'm assuming only like 10% of you are still here. But yeah, that 10%, let me know. Anyway, for today's comment of the day, I asked you guys, what do you think is the maximum amount of snowfall we see with this snowstorm? And James Marr said, I think someone will end up with 10 inches of snow, and I agree. I think 10 inches to maybe 12 inches is the max there. That NAM 3KM had those pinks, that's indicating the 10 inches plus, so I think we will see 10 inches somewhere at least. Anyway, for today's patron highlight of the day, I want to thank you all for supporting the channel, but especially our platinum patrons: Sebastian Tao, John Bembenek, James Wade, Dovi Nagel, Alan Belemo, Adam S., Larry LePan, Donna Carnes, Cameron Marshall, and Aiden Mattis, alongside our diamond patrons: Bill Roberts, Alan Sherry, Marcus Connolly, Noah Harley, Michael Codalessa, Michael Buell, Catbite, Charles Stinnett, Kellen Manhart, It's Jay, Cindy Klein, Mark J, Luke Falago, Gary's, and John Quilisi. If you would like to be a part of this Patreon end screen of the day, you can do so by joining our very exciting Patreon page in the description and in the pinned comments down below. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Again, be sure to share it with your friends, family, and social media. I will see you guys in the next video.